Hello, VC, and anyone is watching. This is going to be maybe my first, if we number them, new record update. I've been getting records, but here is some kind of bargain bin records that I've picked up that I think haven't been seen much before and you might enjoy. First record, Jeff Beck, Tim Bogert, Carmen Price. This really good record, done in 1973. This is blues. I don't know what the difference between blues and blues rock is. The first tune, Black Cat Moan, that's an old type tune. A lot of good tunes on here. This really good record. Uh, I've got 10 records here I'm showing today, and I paid $33 for the 10 records. That's including postage on a few of them, and so that they average out to $3.30 a piece. Some of them were just $2. I think this one I maybe had to pay $6.50 for. It's a really good record. I know some of you are familiar with this. Next record. Blue Oyster Cult. This is 1975. Gatefold album, double LP. This is a live concert type record. This is rock and roll. This is my first Blue Oyster Cult record. This is a good record. It does have a little bit of chitter chatter stuff in it due to being a live type recording. It's very good. Often I like the live recordings because the people get out there and play. When they're in a studio, a lot of times you're getting canned music. Really what you're getting is something created by the engineer because they've snipped and sliced 1,000 different pieces of tape that were recorded over 6 months. That gets away sometimes from the music, has a little less life in it. So you have to deal with the noise and maybe the less quality of the sound quality of the recording, but the live recordings are good. Next record. Probably see I paid $3 for this record. The Morels, Shake and Push. This was a blind buy. Never heard of the Morels. I just like the cover. You look on the cover here, there's about a 1957 Buick Roadhog with flat tires sitting out in front of Red's place. Must be good music there. I checked these guys out on the internet. They have a wiki page. This is more or less the only record they made. I forget the year now, 70 something, but these guys, when you look them up on the internet, they claim to be the world's best bar band. This is just a kind of old-fashioned rock and roll, a relatively small group. The music was real good. I liked the record all of the way through. They got some original tunes on it, mostly original tunes on it, and it's on borrowed records, and these guys are all good musicians, and you just always wonder why they never did anything else. This record seems to be relatively common in the bargain bins. I've seen it a couple other times, and you just think that some of these records, cases of them got left someplace for many years, and now that records are popular again, somebody has found these old store stocks. Next record. Blue Note, live at the Roxy. This is 1976. I know there's a lot of Blue Note collectors in the VC, the jazz and so forth they did. This is pretty late for a Blue Note. This is kind of a sampler, says live at the Roxy. I doubt that all of these people were here on the same night. It has Alphonse Mousson, Carmen McRae, Ronnie Laws, Earl Klugh, Blue Note All-Stars, and Donald Byrd with Places and Spaces. So nice variety of music on here. I made a note here that some of the tunes are pretty funky, so that you can tell the Blue Note Jazz had been listening to the funk music and maybe just the people that they happen to put on this record. So this is another gatefold record, nice record. Next record, you have to have this record. Blues Brothers. Briefcase Full of Blues. This is the original, the soundtrack from the movie. Blues Brothers, I can't talk today, is a great movie. Even my father, who was an old guy, watched this movie over and over, loved the movie, loved the music. This record is in really good condition, was only a couple dollars, so I'm happy to have that. Kind of on a blues kick here today. Next record. Mike Bloomfield, Al Cooper, and Steve Stills, Super Session. It's a really good record. Blues, of course. These guys just really go after it. I think people have maybe shown this before. If you like the early, I tend to think of as rock and roll blues, but these guys are really just blues. They're not counted in the rock and roll area, but a really good record. I really enjoyed it. Today, we left the ladies to last. Carlene Carter, Musical Shapes. This record, 1980. This is kind of interesting, is that Carlene Carter is June Carter's daughter. That was June Carter Cash. Her mother married Johnny Cash. This record will kind of tie into the next record. You see these and you think, well, they're just country. No, this record is more rockabilly than it is country. She's a pretty good rocker. She's still doing stuff. She took a 12-year break and started recording again a few years ago, probably more country. But you see these people that had famous parents and they're always kind of in their shadow. I think often they are better musicians than what they're given credit for because they're in the shadow of a famous person. People think, oh, they're just riding on the coattails of somebody. But she is quite good, and this several people have called this rockabilly and even psychobilly, so it's not just a country record. Next record, 1979, Carlene Carter's Stepsister. Rosanne Cash, Right or Wrong. I think I said 1979. This is almost rock and roll, kind of rock and roll country, pop rock and roll country. And the same as with Miss Carter, is that people see these and think, oh, well, it's just country or it's just this. She has a really high-rated record that just come out here in the last year or two. But this record is really good. I really enjoyed the music on this, and I like to show these because a lot of times people pass these up for those reasons. Oh, it's just country, or oh, they're probably not that good. They're just going on their famous parents' things. A little bit interesting. She's a stepsister to Carlene Carter, but she grew up in Ventura, California, and of course, Carlene Carter grew up near Nashville in the Johnny Cash home. So even though they're stepsisters, I don't think they had much interaction while they were growing up, but they're both very talented in their own right. My last one from 1970, no, not my last one, the next one, Karla Bonoff. Self-titled album. It's a good record. This record was $2, nice clean record. You can't go wrong with them. I just call this pop singing category. Nothing special about it. It's very listenable. A good record, and especially for $2. And last but not least, from 1979, take a look at this gal. Panjaa Tucker, Tear Me Apart. This record's not country. We think of Panjaa Tucker as country. This record is rock and roll, and she's getting with it on this record. It's got a great picture on the cover. Good tunes on here, and another one of those records. I think a lot of times the kind of stuff we collect, they get overlooked. But I highly recommend this record. Again, this record was only a couple dollars. If you happen to see this in the bin, give it a try. It's definitely worth a few dollars, and I think you'll enjoy it. That's my new record finds for this video. Thanks for watching. See ya.